The term kinship care refers to family members, often grandparents and other close relatives or family friends, who take on the full-time care of children when they are not able to be cared for by their parents. In New York State, there are an estimated 195,000 children being raised by kinship caregivers. Most of these children, about 188,000 of them, are being raised outside of foster care and therefore have limited access to resources. I am here today on behalf of those caregivers who have been asked to step up in times of crisis to raise children that they were not expecting to raise and who need support. I'm here for the 72-year-old grandfather who is caring for his disabled wife and who in 2016 was asked by Child Protective Services to take on 3 of his grandchildren, all under the age of 6 at the time, when his daughter got caught up in the opioid epidemic. 5 years later, he still has all 3 children in his home, and he was only connected to Kinship Services 3 weeks ago. I'm here for the 56-year-old widow who back in April was called by her niece, who was incarcerated and facing removal by CPS, and asked if she would drive across the state to pick up a newborn from a hospital, and who, with only 5 days' notice, prepared to take on the responsibility that most parents get 9 months to prepare for. As a result, Deanne has had to rack up thousands of dollars in credit card debt to pay for the expenses of an unexpected child. These are not abnormal cases. This is what we work with every day. Over the last decade, much of the policy focus around kinship care has been around children living with relatives who are made foster parents, and little attention has been paid to kinship caregivers who are caring for children outside of foster care. As a result, fewer resources have been allocated to this population to help sustain families in need. In New York, funding for kinship services has fluctuated over the past decade, but since 2016, the legislature has funded kinship services at a total of $2.5 million. This funds 14 localized case management programs and a statewide Kinship Navigator. Last year, the kinship budget line was cut by $950,000, leaving OCFS with the option to cut the services or to find other funding. Thankfully, they found funding to continue the programs for 1 year. I'm here to ask the legislature to choose to prioritize these families by restoring the funds lost last year. These programs are here to help kinship families navigate the complex system of benefits and services that they are eligible for, and they help stabilize families for a fraction of the cost of foster care. During the pandemic, these programs provided valuable resources like giving away hundreds of tablets, increasing access to food, and assistance with benefits. In the Consolidated Appropriations Act, the federal government incentivized states to invest in kinship services by offering a 100% match of any dollars spent on kinship care during the COVID-19 pandemic. This would double the resources available to these programs, but the state needs to commit to funding these programs first. We're asking for $1.9 million for the local kinship programs and $100,000 for the Kinship Navigator. Thank you.
Thank you very much.